For August the 4th, 2014. What I'm about to present to you is some breaking information regarding the water crisis in Ohio and in Michigan. We can't believe everything. We can't believe anything the mainstream media news puts in our face. We have to do our own research, our own digging to get to the bottom of things and to uncover the truth. What I think you may find that I have uncovered or haven't uncovered may just shock you. Let me take you now to the most recent news coming out of Ohio. Now, this is the latest coming out this morning. Ohio water ban enters third day. Toledo mayor says more testing is required. He's not happy with the test results that the citizens of Ohio will be safe. And you can see 8/4/2014, and there's a whole article here. But for time's sake, now I want you to understand something, that they have called out the Red Cross in Ohio. They've declared a national emergency. And in southern Monroe County, Michigan, they have the fire department coming in, supplying water, unconsumable, unpotable water all over this harmful algae bloom, is what they're calling it, a harmful algae bloom. And I want you to remember that word, and I want you to remember the word microcystin as well. Now, let me take you to another update that's going on right now. I'll be right back. Now, here's another breaking update. Due to this crisis, this harmful algae bloom, Toledoans complain about price gouging during a water crisis. What they're doing, people are buying water and they are jacking up the price to $15, $20 just for a case of water. All because of this water crisis, this harmful algae bloom. Let me see if I can play this. Hopefully I can.
Let's go in West Toledo. People paying the typical price.
If I don't have water, my baby doesn't eat, so that's going to be an issue.
Some were too late.
We waited an hour and 15 minutes.
And what'd you get?
Nothing. It was all gone.
What's that make you feel like?
Well, I don't think you really want to know.
While others decided to take advantage of the situation, check out this photo we snapped just across the street from Costco, selling water for $20 a case. When they saw us
selling water for $20 a case, all due to this harmful algae bloom. Be right back. Now, let me quickly draw your attention to this photo, a photo we're all too familiar with, where the water has turned to red like blood and has been making its way for some time now, years, across the internet, where we're living in the end times, and people are associating this with, in the book of Revelation, where the water turns to blood. Now, this is one example. They're calling this a red tide algae. But hold on. Let me give you a few more examples. And who can forget this photograph? Those on YouTube, the fear, gloom, and doomers, the end of the world fear-mongers. The Texas Blood Lake, again, this strange red tide algae. It's a algae bloom that we have all been so accustomed to seeing. Stay with me here now for a moment. Now, here's the most recent article. This has just came out in, I believe it was like July 28th. Eastern Chinese river turns blood red. Now, the water, the river in eastern China turns red like blood, attributed to this harmful algae bloom, red tide algae. And for time's sake, I have done a lot of research into this. When the water turns red like this, it is due to a harmful algae bloom. But what does China, what does the lake in Texas that turned blood red, the water in Florida, Pensacola, Florida, that turned blood red, and around the world that has turned blood red? They did not declare a national emergency. There was no Red Cross involved. There was no water crisis. They did not stop the consumption of water due to a harmful algae bloom. I want you to remember that. Now let's take a look again at this microcystin. I did a search on microcystin. I'm not a biologist. I'm not a scientist by any means. So I want to know what is microcystin. And look what my research has uncovered. Stay with me. All right, are you ready for this? Doing research to uncover what exactly is this microcystin that is in the water that has contaminated the water in southern Michigan, Monroe County, and Toledo. Look what I uncover. Scholarly articles for microcystin nuclear contamination, contamination with depleted uranium cells. And so this has me thinking, what is it about Michigan and Ohio? And look what I have uncovered. We've got Fermi 2 in southern Michigan, and we've also got another. We've got I believe it's the Perry nuclear reactor in Ohio. Let me go real quick and show you what I've uncovered. Now, all this has happened this year in 2014, but mainstream and media news and the press has put it way, way back. Not on the forefront to where none of us even knew that this had happened. This was back in July in Frenchtown Township, Michigan, Monroe. I used to go fishing in Frenchtown. Here's the headline. Now, I'm not saying this is the case, but something is not right here. Officials, Fermi 2 nuclear plant reports fuel leak. Frenchtown Township, Michigan, Associated Press. This is July, last month. Federal officials say the Fermi 2 nuclear power plant in southeastern Michigan has reported a 2,500-gallon fuel leak from one of its gas turbine generators. The Monroe News reports the leak and spill happened around midday Tuesday at the DTE Energy Company facility along Lake Erie in Monroe County's Frenchtown Township. Oh, I've uncovered a lot more. Stay with me now. Don't leave. The things you find when you do your own research. Now, here's another story mainstream and media news and the press kept hidden from us. This happened in April the 3rd of this year. The incident at the Fermi 2 nuclear facility just happened a few weeks ago. But back in April, here we go. Chemical leaks in building at Ohio nuclear plant. Perry, Ohio, Associated Press. The operator of Northeast Ohio nuclear power plant says a refrigerant leaked from equipment in a building on the site, prompting air monitoring for the chemical. They had another leak, this time at the Ohio nuclear plant, the Perry nuclear facility, in April. Oh, I've got more. Stay with me. All right, I hope you are understanding the information that I am presenting to you. They have hidden this from you and from mainstream media news. Back a few weeks ago in July, a major leak at Fermi 2 nuclear facility in Monroe, southern Monroe. Then at the Perry nuclear plant facility back in April, another leak. Now, radiation plume from the Perry nuclear plant in Ohio. Now there's a radiation plume that we were not told about. All this was shoved under the rug, placed way, way back to where we're never going to find this story unless you do a lot of research and digging. Radiation plume from the Perry nuclear plant in Ohio. And this is back in January of this year. All this in 2014. Now there's a crisis. We've got a national emergency. We got the Red Cross out, and the water is not safe for consumption, all because of an algae bloom. And there's been a lot of algae blooms. They've never called out the Red Cross. They've never declared a national emergency when the water turned blood red. I believe there's something more going on. This is back in January at 3 p.m. today. My thyroid started to swell up again. I took some Lugol's iodine for it. This has happened several times the past few weeks. There was a stream released, and apparently critically in late December. Others have reported thyroid problems. My thyroid even swelled up after eating some tomato sauce from a radiation plume back in January, one in April, all at the Ohio Perry nuclear facility, and just a few weeks ago in Monroe at the nuclear Fermi 2 nuclear plant. Now, what are the symptoms of this harmful algae bloom that they're putting out in mainstream media news, the crisis in Michigan and Ohio? Vomiting, nausea, skin conditions, rash, the same if you have radiation poisoning. I'll be right back and we're going to finish up. Now, in closing, let's see if these symptoms are the same and that they are saying if you drink this water, don't even give the water to your pets in Ohio and in Toledo and Michigan, rather, that these are the symptoms. Let's see if it matches the symptoms of radiation sickness. Let me just scroll down for time's sake. Nausea and vomiting within 6 hours. Diarrhea, same as with the water crisis in Michigan and Ohio. Headache, fever, dizziness and being disoriented, weakness, fatigue, the same symptoms exactly as being described with this crisis in Michigan and in Ohio. I'm not saying this is what's taking place, but I want to present this information to all of you. Do not drink that water. Do not drink that water. My research is either right on or maybe I'm wrong, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Leave me comments, everyone.